was because over the past year and a half, I've had a lot of difficulties in my life. Number one reason was my brother, who's my best friend, and he was in my life for 23 years, and over the past year and a half, he got in a car accident and passed away. So, he was my number one supporter, and like my family's awesome, and they're the reason why I have all this confidence to go out there and do motivational speaking, and they're very supportive of me and everything that I want to do, and they elevated me to this point where I could go out in the community and serve other people. But my brother, he's 10 months apart from me, and he never saw me as a person with a disability. He never mentioned me as a person with a disability to any of his friends. I was always just Jamie to him, and that was the best part. I was always just Jamie, and we went out together. He made sure that I had the same opportunities as everybody else, and when we played sports with the neighborhood kids, he wouldn't play unless I could play. So he was always just right there for me, and it was pretty awesome, and I owe a lot to him for my confidence in who I am, and I just figured out that, you know, in order to keep his legacy alive, I would go out and do motivational speaking. That started my blog. So that's the reason for my blog. And then as I started that, I figured out that I could, you know, impact people in other ways. So my message started to get out there on Facebook and Twitter, and my following really started to grow, and I had other reasons for doing my videos and my blog, and so it just started becoming like a weekly thing, and then I got some feedback from people telling me how great it was. It's not really that great, but people think. But so it was something that was gaining a lot of traction, and like I don't do things unless I go all the way, like I do it 100%, or I don't do it at all. And so it's very fulfilling for me to do it, but then I realized that it was helping a lot of people, and I was getting a lot of messages on Twitter and Facebook telling me how helpful it is for them, whether they need a little bit of motivation or they have lost somebody in their own life. You know, you got random people who I never even met in my life reaching out to me and said, I don't know who you are, but I read your blog. I don't know who you are, but I watched your video. And, you know, it started with a bunch of my friends who, you know, shared it on Facebook, shared it on Twitter, and then, you know, because I worked at it, it started growing, and now it's awesome, and I'm really excited because meeting people like Bob, it gives me an opportunity to get out in the community and do things like this and get in front of people, because I want people to see how passionate I am about motivating others and being there for other people, because my brother was there for me, and I want to be there for other people, and this is why I chose to be I like to say that I didn't choose to be a motivational speaker. It kind of just happened because of everything that I've experienced in my life. I want to pass on my experiences to other people and see, like, I've been through this. I made the best out of it. I figured out a way to be positive. So whatever you're going through in your life, even if it's like a daily thing, everyday struggle, you can figure out a way to be positive, because I did. And not that I'm like the greatest person ever, but if I can pass along a little bit of positivity to one person, it doesn't have to be a whole group of people. If I can help one person, then I've done what I want to do. And hopefully I can get a lot more opportunities like this one to get out there in the community and make a difference, because I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And you know, I always say that when I get a chance to talk to people, I want them to be even more excited, even more motivated when they leave hearing me speak, to go out and make a difference. So, I mean, like, I want people to come in, and when they leave, I want them to feel like they can go run the laps and have energy to burn, because everybody has something to offer the world, and sometimes it takes a lot for them to figure out what it is. But it took me 23 years to figure out that I could be a motivational speaker, and this is kind of what I stumbled into, I guess. But it's a very rewarding profession, and I hope that I can, you know, find my way doing some speaking and other opportunities. I recently got a job opportunity. We're not quite there yet, but we recently got a job opportunity with the Massachusetts Disabled Persons Protection Commission, which is a state organization over in Braintree. And they haven't really been quite consistent with, you know, the trainings that they want me to do. But because everything's been kind of rescheduled with the snow, so they want me to do trainings for, like, professionals in law enforcement, mostly about disability etiquette and how to, you know, approach people in public areas with disabilities. What they do over there is they investigate cases of abuse for people with disabilities, so they protect and preserve, like, the rights of people with disabilities when they report cases of abuse, whether it's like family members or caregivers. And so they want me to, you know, go in there and basically do what I'm doing now, except related to people with disabilities and how you approach them in public areas to make them a more active and inclusive part of society, so they feel comfortable and they don't feel like they are at risk to be taken advantage of. So that's what I have, like, in terms of solid job leads. But I've been able to make some connections of my own. I have a training with them coming up on April 30th, and that's over in Dorchester. But I also have some connections of my own. I'm going to be doing some speaking in my own town, over at the high school in early April, and I also have one coming up at a hall at BU. One of my friends works over there, and he is setting up one at BU. So that's my next big one in front of a big audience. But
what about the newspaper article coming out tomorrow?
And then on Thursday, I have an article about my motivational speaking coming out in the newspaper. So it's going to come out in the local paper in Situate. And also on Thursday, I have I've been a part of producing a wheelchair basketball documentary, which is about a team in Miami, Florida. They want the people who are producing it. I met them in my senior year of college. My roommate, actually, he has his own graphic design business. So he is part of an entrepreneur group, and they met through the entrepreneur group, and he mentioned to them that he has a friend that plays wheelchair basketball. And so they were like, oh, well, would you like to contribute to this film? And so I, you know, immediately jumped on board and was like, sure, I'll help out any way I can. So the movie is coming out this year and they want to continue the message for awareness and for the sport. And so asked me to contribute to their blog, which is going to continue the message. So I've been doing that bi-weekly for about a month now. So I'm about to do my second entry, and it's a nationally recognized blog because they've been featured in 4 entrepreneurial magazines. So that's a pretty cool opportunity. I reposted on my own blog, so if you get a chance to read that, that's up there also. So I have the newspaper, that blog, and a bunch of other opportunities. And I'm just really excited to be here today, and I really appreciate the opportunity, so thank you.
Wow. You're greatly welcome.